Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Cosmic horror.
I like to think that Marahate is the savory food analogy to haterade. You can't drink the haterade and you don't want to soak your chicken in the Marahate.
Oh, you know what's terrible is like for the first part of you setting that all up, I forgot what we were even talking about, and now I remember marinade.
You said Marahate.
Here's a question: if you have a sauce that you bought at the store, and it could function as a marinade, do you just try it and see how it turns out, or are you the kind of person that chucks it in the garbage because you don't like it as a sauce?
What?
Welcome to Sauce Talk.
We're talking about sauces.
Well, here,
Getting saucy.
For me, it's hard to marinate any meat in sauce because it's so thick and it's gonna be not gonna penetrate very well.
Penetration.
Yeah, you don't.
Freddy.
You gotta get a little. You gotta have some penetration.
Yeah, like if you're doing like a thicker sauce,
it's called a sauce for a reason. It's not called a marinade.
But some of them are called sauce and marinade. What do you
sounds
do?
Like you're both. Sounds like you both are soaking your chicken in the Marahate for marinade
this
sauce.
This is a very controversial topic in this house.
No, the topic was Freddie took a sauce that we both agreed was gross
on
when we
steak.
had it with steak.
Yeah,
and he's like,
and I'm trying it with chicken.
So now I'm marinating whole chicken breasts for your dinner in it because let's give it a go. And I'm like, but I hated it.
So you don't understand how food works, though. Yeah. You're like, you don't get that as a marinade. It actually will have a different flavor because the meat's different.
But it's fine. I'm gonna eat it. Well, it's fine no matter what. So you could just say, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but oh well, I did it.
What if it's delicious and you love it?
Well, by that logic, you should put on every food to see if it tastes better.
You mean if I already had it,
soak it in peeps
like, ooh,
from Easter?
Maybe we should put it on cake.
You've never been really, really poor, have you?
It would change the flavor of it because if it's on different things.
Let me tell you, man.
If it's gross, it's gross.
Sometimes sauce is calories. Sometimes you're actually bulking up what you're eating with the sauce that you're marinating.
You should pull the poor card on me.
Yeah, he's. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we could have a pour off. You did make your own cracker spread by chewing up other crackers. So I'm going to say you probably have an edge.
Right.
I don't know if that was economic or if that was more of a
monstrous
behavioral.
Mental health situation.
Cosmic horror. We're going to be cosmic mouth horrors.
Is my hors d'oeuvres an example of cosmic horror?
Yeah.
It's so
beyond. Like
it drives people crazy.
It's the cracker from outer space.
It's from beyond.
So we're going to be talking about another adaptation of From Beyond called Banshee chapter that was chosen by
Bear.
Yeah. And
real cool.
Bear.
I love this movie, but we didn't all love it. You got to stay tuned. Maybe one of us didn't love it.
Love.
Yeah.
I really love it.
I would not use love.
I love it.
I don't know if I'd say love, but I did really like it a lot.
Liked it.
I need to try this movie on chicken.
There you go.
Maybe
Andy.
if you put it on chicken instead.
Soak all your chicken in it.
There's a problem.
To be fair, I've seen this twice. And the first time I rated it lower than the second time. The second time I gave it an additional star. When I went in, I do this on IMDb for myself.
So on Star Search, last time you gave it 3 stars. This time, would you say you gave it at least 3.25 stars?
I could tell you specifically, I had given this 6 stars originally when it came out.
Oh, 6. Okay.
I gave it 6 out of 10 stars, the IMDb standard.
That's not the Star Search standard, though.
No,
so
it's not.
We're going to have to do that math conversion.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be
3.25 stars translates to
whoa, a quarter star?
7 stars.
How do you,
now it's 7.
How would you even do this?
Got one more star.
I know I never understood. Once they started doing the quarter stars, like I was like, I don't know.
Do you feel like a 10-star system just makes more sense to me?
It allows for more nuance.
I hate unnecessary fractions. It's like a pet peeve of mine in life.
3 3/4 stars.
You know?
So anyway,
for little dancers.
Is that a McMahon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember little Britney Spears was on there.
You know what I thought?
A comedian. Who was it?
I thought the modeling competition was the most glamorous thing
the
I've ever seen.
spokes model.
Yeah.
Spokes model.
I don't even remember.
4-star search.
What did they do?
They wore gowns.
They just wore bikinis and gowns, and they eventually had a male category too.
No, really?
You had to have a dead face and be able to read from a teleprompter while you wear a bikini.
You had to have the flattest 80s ass that you could find.
And again, male, female, any and all. You just had to have a flat ass, flat face.
Everything had to be flat.
Just be a flat person.
It's cheaper for them in television. It's cheaper to broadcast a 2-dimensional image than it is a 3-dimensional image.
They use less film.
Probably one of our listeners is a former spokesmodel contestant, and we're probably being very hurtful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Their mom was.
I think that the reason actors are short and flat.
Yeah.
It's a money. Follow the money.
So
I always thought it was for camera. Like I thought it made it easier to set up shots and scenes and stuff too.
They can fit more of them in there too. It's a value. It's a value for space.
So if I look at the stars at Horror Hound Convention sideways,
it's like when Wendy's made the chicken nuggets smaller.
Yeah. Everything is gradually smaller. They're saving money. Actors are getting smaller and smaller, while the rest of us get bigger and bigger
in this economy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Biden.
That's crazy.
It's a real white rabbit situation. So Patreon, more vital than ever in these trying times.
Now more than ever.
Since I quit my day job. We actually use some of that money for things like food and medicine.
Yeah, please give us be a patron so Freddie can buy more sauces.
I need to buy more different sauces and different marinades. But thank you so much if you are a patron. We just released Origins 202 where we talked about carriers and the birds. It was the beginning of Alfred Hitchcock month. And we had a Topicana about calling the police.
Oh, whoop,
whoop. So that was really fun. Whoop, whoop. That was a good question.
Can I say that I did watch some Cops the other day? I know it's not
you can say it
politically correct, but I grew up with it. It's part of my pop culture DNA, and so I was watching it on Pluto.
I think it was on Saturday nights.
You left the
on
planet
Fox.
without me?
I left the planet. And goddamn, when they're in Florida, you're really going to get the A material.
Yeah.
Any true crime that story that happens in Florida, really, usually you're getting the good stuff.
I mean, these dudes. These dudes.
Yeah, Cops were ahead of his time for exposing Florida for being the crazy town it is.
Crazy town.
Just don't listen. I know that cops pull people over for dumb shit. So this guy blows through a stop sign, and the cop pulls him over. Now, a rolling stop, which is mildly dumb shit. I mean, people shouldn't do that at stop signs. Anywho, the guy's got a gun, probably half a pound of weed, and tons of cash on him, and it's you could have just did that one thing.
Oh yeah, it's in the margins, man. But you know what else it is?
Stop at the stop sign.
It's being a minority in
that's the other problem.
It's compounded by your entire, and I even talked about this in Origins too, because I've been thinking about this lately for some reason. But my best friend growing up was a notorious criminal. The whole police department knew him by name. And I was always watched by the cops, everything I did my whole life, until I was out of the neighborhood long enough working all day at a job, and they forgot about who I am. I don't know. I and then when you were watching Cops, and I've been thinking about that stuff, and because it's been talked about so much more because of Black Lives Matter, that when you makes you think about something you never thought about. You know what I mean? If I left my neighborhood, it wasn't a problem. It was only when I was in this area But this is where I was 99% of the time anyway. So don't you feel like what I'm getting at is
I want to know what you're getting at. We're all desperately waiting.
It's the bias. I'm trying to say that the bias is, and I'm trying to say it in a sensitive way. I'm trying not to, I don't want to borrow someone else's struggle here.
Sure.
Does that make sense? I experienced a taste of that,
right.
A very small taste of that, because I was part of his associates or whatever. And I never I was a good kid. I really was. I just was always
chubby,
there.
Had a mullet.
Yeah, chubby kid with a mullet.
I think we should put some of that marinade on that word salad.
Yes.
To see if it goes down easier.
Maybe it's a nice salad dressing as well.
I've become kind of a parent mentally, because I'm a homemaker now in a lot of respects. So I'm going to do the weird shit that I've seen other homemakers in my life do that I always judge them for, like put a weird sauce on chicken and marinate it so I don't just throw it in the garbage uneaten. I used to pick on our friend Erica. I would pick on her for keeping things too long.
She would freeze milk, and then you'd get milk out of her fridge, and it was like 6 months out of date.
I owe her an apology, man.
It had ice crystals in it.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
It was fine.
Okay, here's a question. How much was this marinade? Was it like $1,000?
No, Andy.
It adds up, though, man.
It was a $1,000 marinade.
I'm becoming very...
I swear to God, we can't talk about the marinade anymore. I'll kill myself. So, yes, patreon.com/NOTLP. Topicana's up there. Freddie, do you want to tease your question?
Yeah.
What kind of marinade?
Yeah, it's a marinade question. If you have...
All right.
I'll think about it. I'll marinate on that for a while.
Yes, marinate on the marinade.
My question has to do with world hunger, since you've been bullying me about marinades. If you could send 1 pound for every pound of a certain food you eat, a hungry person...
What's happening?
Andy's laughing his ass off over here.
I don't know.
Listen to this.
Dear husband,
I'm teasing my question. I'm trying to phrase it correctly to make sure that I get your juices flowing.
Okay.
If you every time you sat down and you ate something, a food that you despise, it would feed a hungry person somewhere in the world. How much of that would you put up with a hero and think about with the hero complex and how your sense of self-worth, like,
I don't understand what your question is right here.
I'm saying, like,
would you eat bad food if it meant somebody else could actually eat? Is that your question?
I want you to really think about, it's almost like a would you rather.
Yeah.
My question is,
so yes or no?
If you could do something like every time you sit down, what's your least favorite food? I'll make it specific just for an example. I'll say my least favorite food. I hate sweet potatoes and yams and melons. Like, if every time I sat down for a meal, I was essentially like a have-not on Big Brother, where all I could eat was like melon or sweet potatoes, and I couldn't have any of the food I want for that. Would think about how far do you think you could take it?
Listener, we will get this clarified in the morning.
Can I just call Sally Struthers?
Can I just say I was not prepared for you to ask me to tease
Then you should have said, I don't have one.
I did. I made one up just now, and it's brilliant.
So, listener, who knows what you're going to get?
That's gonna be a short topic.
I got a new question. I got a new question. Would you rather
kill myself or continue with this
two fluid ounces of boogers or 2 fluid ounces of a bear's menstrual blood? And we don't even have to wait for Topicana. Yeah, you can ask now.
You said a bear's?
A human's boogers. That's 2 cups. That's 16 ounces, right? Of human boogers.
I'm going to remove myself from this conversation. It is no longer a viable adult conversation.
As it should be.
I'm gonna do half and half.
You slide down.
Andy's gonna do an Arnold Palmer.
A razor blade.
Palmer. Did I say that right?
We're now just playing grosser than gross.
Yeah.
Wow. So much going on.
And then there's
in this room right now.
A baby bear in the bear blood, and it's alive, but you have to eat it.
I don't want to eat a adorable little baby bear.
You don't want to.
Hey, Horror Hound Weekend's coming up about 3 weeks or so.
That's what
Something
they say.
like
Yeah.
So go to horrorhoundweekend.com. Yeah, bitch, to see. You know what I did not realize until today when I saw the tweet from Horror Hound Weekend is that the new Halloween movie is coming out this year.
Halloween Kills.
I thought it was
Halloween
next
ends.
year.
Halloween
Yeah.
ends. Yeah.
Next month,
Didn't
right?
I'm stupid.
Didn't the other one just come out last year?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they were already in production.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a rolling train.
I don't know what was going on in my head where I was like shocked and amazed.
That question, obviously you can't answer that question I proposed.
Yeah, you'll give us something later.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll let you know by the end of the show what it is, but don't let me forget.
So
Yeah, the food heavy banter section.
So we hung out IRL.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Earl. It was nice.
Yeah, Kelly's been zooming in lately, so it was
Yeah,
nice
my
to
foot-
see you.
My foot's messed up.
His
a little
foot's
bit.
messed up.
Little bit.
So we need to keep him off of it as much as possible, but we got to hang
It was
as
magical.
people.
It was nice. Me and Freddie got to pick and grin a little bit together.
They did.
I meant that
sang some
sincerely.
songs. I did too.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh, because he called it magical.
I called it magical. I need a better word for it. It was
That's
serene.
Coded
Winky.
language.
That's
Yeah.
a winky word we
Yeah.
have around here.
I mean,
Serene?
Winky word.
It's okay. You didn't use it 20 times in one sentence.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
it's
you're
fine.
Yeah.
But for serious, it was lovely.
Yeah, we
It
Kelly
was.
previewed his album for us.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It was a great experience.
Oh, thank you guys for listening.
You
I
want to tease that,
appreciate it.
Kelly?
Oh well, sure. On Labor Day weekend, this Labor Day weekend, I'm releasing the first EP in a trilogy of EPs, which each one is a different movie in a zombie movie trilogy from the 80s. It's fictional. I made it all up, just so you know, it's not a real movie trilogy.
Or a real story, like real life happened. Was zombies.
True story.
It's not like True Story with zombies, but it is. There is a story to it, and it's seasonal based. So the whole project is called Seasons of the Hungry Dead, and the first movie is Autumn Creeping, and that it's a 5-song EP. They're all going to be EPs that just sort of come out between projects, between bigger projects. So I dropped a lot of information on you, but it's a kind of stoner rock, psychedelic rock thing that I do, and it's I like it. The crew seem to like it.
Very much.
Alise likes it.
Things we learned and were solidified by this music, Kelly, is that you're the bridge master.
I'm the bridge master. Apparently, I'm pretty good with a bridge.
He's
I
good
do
with a bridge.
agree.
Can you
I'm
do
good
something
with
about the
the
Brent
bridge.
Spence? Brent
Brent
Spence.
Spence,
Yeah.
can you?
Because that's scary.
No, because it's more than 8 bars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Freddie had lots of good feedback, like that he came up with his eyes closed, with his head bopping around.
It was so good.
Just,
It was so nice to
Freddie
see you
was
guys
Freddie
enjoying
was
it.
physically interacting with your music, I think.
My
That's
heart
what
was racing at times.
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
I loved it.
Thank you. So anyway, listeners, that'll be out in September, early September, and it'll be on like Bandcamp and all the streaming services, all the wares you can get them, including YouTube.
It's so
But anyway,
good.
it's sort of my thing. I love zombie movies, and I didn't want to theme every single album I make, so I figured this is a good way to kind of make short pieces that I can then make concepts, and this is one I really put a lot of love into. So anyway, thank you, and your guys' appreciation really made me feel really good.
You should.
And
Makes
happy
me
in the
happy.
heart.
Terribly
That's why I made-
talented.
I
That's why I make it.
when people theme art to seasons like you did, like they did with the Dragonlance Chronicles. I always was a big fan of that. It's just a really neat way to think about a story.
Right.
Thank you.
And we make little voiceover cameos.
Oh yes,
Wow.
Freddie and Amy, both of my sons, Alise I'll make voice cameos, and we'll continue to. I have other projects because I'm like Rob Zombie. I can't stop putting dialogue into my things, and so I have more to make.
Kelley, if you were going to reveal a third son to us as part of this project, you'd be like, "And my third son, introducing
Rob Zombie is my son.
Rob Zombie, my third son."
Well,
I adopted him.
It's very fitting, Kelley, because you love zombies.
I do. See, that's why.
Is that his middle name? Rob Zombie Kombrinck?
Robert Zombie.
Well, it's hyphenated.
Okay, I see.
Okay,
You guys are so progressive.
Now tell me,
Robert.
have we? I have a question. Let me know if we've done it before, though.
Oy vey.
What
Is this your
are-
real toppy tops?
This is real. What's your favorite random story to tell at parties or gatherings? I don't remember.
No.
I don't think we've done that one.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Give you some time to think about it. I mean, not right now.
Not right now,
but,
guys,
you ready
stop.
to do the next thing?
Oh, before we do the next thing, let me explain. I had to make an executive decision on the.
You called an audible.
I called an audible. Executive decisioned the roulette movie this week. So I had picked with Sandra Oh. I go to watch it Sunday, and it's like you have to pay to rent it. And I'm like, since when? This is a streaming movie. That's why I picked it. And somehow it was pay to rent. I don't know what I did. Also, the trailer starts with exclusively in theaters. I just felt like the movie didn't really fit the spirit of straight-to-video Russian roulette.
It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah.
Does it want to be exclusively in theaters? Does it want to be streaming?
The spirit of roulette is something you would find on a streaming service you already have, something you're not going to pay extra money for.
Originally, it was shit you found at the video store.
At the video store, but now it's like we all have like 3 or 4 streaming services. Let's pick from there. That's kind of my feeling. I hope I made an okay choice, and I'm pretty sure I saved one to use from A Fate Worse Than Death.
It's like how the pagans celebrate, like the original pagan celebration of Christmas, and how it's all been co-opted and changed. Like this for you kids that are listening, which shouldn't be, but if you are, and you just stumbled across this and you're like, Russian roulette, straight to video, what does that mean?
Right.
There are people who may be listening to this who don't know what it means.
I know exactly what you're saying.
It occurred to me because
it's funny.
Like when we started doing this show, we never thought we'd age out of
Culture has changed.
like the straight
video
to video
stores.
Out of technology and culture.
Yeah.
And
Well, even that, I don't want to pick Prey, which just hit Hulu, which looks amazing, and I really want to watch it, but that could potentially be a main attraction. It feels like main attraction material, so I don't want to pick it for the roulette movie, even though we've done that before. They have crossed over. You guys, this is the stress that I go through every week.
Well, also, to keep up with the times, should we change the name of Russian roulette to Freedom Roulette?
Freedom Roulette.
Freedom Roulette.
I got a folder about the French president, and you open it up, it just says Freedom President.
I hope we can.
Not a good joke. I was trying to do a Trump thing.
I like it. No, I liked it.
I knew exactly where you're going because I keep up with the news.
I liked it.
I forgot about the thing about the French president being in there.
Yeah.
It was in a safe? Is that right?
I don't know. It was in Melania's closet. Nobody knows.
Melania's closet
I
sounds
love that
like
show.
a discount store.
I want the motherfucker in jail, but I also recognize that might not be a good idea because that will cause a civil war.
Oh, it's already started, Amy. That dumbass in Cincinnati. Where are the news guys?
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati.
We haven't talked about that on the show yet.
About the FBI.
First of all, why is the FBI in Kenwood? That's a little bougie, don't you think? I feel like rents are high there, and we don't need to be paying that.
This never would have happened in a dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah, if the FBI was in fucking
You know what I'm saying? I'm serious.
Fairmount.
That guy never would have bothered going into that neighborhood to do anything. He would have been like, I'm
This
going to
white kid?
assault
Yeah.
the FBI today. And he's like, oh, it's not in the right neighborhood. I'm not going to do it. I'm too scared.
Ricky.
That's true.
And it turns out this motherfucker was at a Capitol January 6th too. So you're like, shocking. What?
Right.
No, him?
Yeah.
Man,
That tracks.
I saw that rumor that somebody tweeted like early in the day, like suspect was at January 6th. And I'm like, man, I don't know where the fuck you source this. I shouldn't believe you, but God, I want that to be true because I want this to be the motherfucker. You want
Confirmation
that you're not crazy, that these people are dangerous. Anyway, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They killed him in a cornfield, and it's fine.
Kill him in a cornfield.
That's the most Midwestern thing.
That's that's a song that comes on after the other one.
That's a James Taylor song.
Ricky died in a cornfield tonight.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
Tabula Rasa to mission control. All systems running at 100%. Starting main engine. Everyone ready to go to the moon?
5, 4, we have a disturbance. 3.
Mission control, do you copy?
You're not getting back on course.
1. Brace for impact!
Let's see that.
Captain, I think you should see this.
Back to the ship!
Why are there sharks on the moon?
Americans.
Welcome to the moon.
Henry!
Where did they take him?
We are going home.
You're from Earth?
Protect the ship at all costs.
It's either us or them.
So instead of I went with Shark Side of the Moon.
You did.
And you're welcome. Because Kelley or Andy, you potentially could have gotten this.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be next week. Or this week.
You're a martyr. Thank you.
You really lived in the spirit of the segment, and you took that proverbial bullet for one of
to
us.
be real, I was dying to watch it.
Oh.
Like, it didn't take me long to formulate my plan that it wasn't going to work. So
Well, then the gesture means nothing. You can take it back.
I love your honesty about that.
I really wanted to watch it. I don't know who. Somebody retweeted somebody into my feed and showed the poster for Shark Side of the Moon, a Tubi original.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes.
Was this the first
yes,
Tubi
please.
original we've had on?
Uh-huh.
Like actually reviewed. I think Henrik's movie is or his series, the Bigfoot thing is a series though.
Fucking bless Tubi though. Man, they're doing the Lord's work.
I love Tubi. I watched a movie on Tubi today.
Yeah. They have such a great man. Anyway, this movie is an asylum movie, Shark Side of the Moon.
Are they
of course.
the mega shark people?
I feel like
I think that's Sci-Fi.
Oh, that's okay.
But also they are in bed with Sci-Fi anyway, so it's
Asylum is the people that makes like exact knockoffs of something and then mix.
I'm not sure what this is a knockoff of. You heard it in the trailer. There are sharks on the moon. But
well, that's just true.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody knows that.
But why are there sharks on the moon, Amy?
So 40 years ago. All right. Picture it.
Mm-hmm.
Sicily, 40 years ago. No, it's Russia somewhere 40 years ago. The Russians, as part of the Cold War, are developing human shark hybrids, guys.
Right, that makes sense.
Something goes wrong in the lab. The human shark hybrids chase a scientist onto a space shuttle that's just hanging out next door to the lab.
Flash Gordon style.
They run onto this ship and then blast off and land on the moon by accident. Nobody's really trained.
He has a turntable.
So it's really shark person side of the moon.
Yes.
So they do they have like big shark helmets?
No, they're just like humanoid sharks. They're just sharks with legs and arms and,
So it's like a centaur, right? Or something?
No,
it's
just a shark person. Like
yeah.
if your head was still the shark head.
Okay.
You remember that episode of Scooby-Doo with the shark demon? And it was like a shark and it was on legs and it ran around.
Yeah.
It's like that probably.
Yep.
Well, question, how did it look? Because if you're gonna make a movie about human shark hybrids, it has to look good, right?
It does not look great, but it looks. I had fun. It's exactly what you expect. They spent $10 on everything. Every line item in the budget was $10. Didn't matter.
Well, they went to the everything said $10 store.
Yeah. This was brilliant. They knew exactly what they were doing too. I like, okay, every astronaut that's blasting off to the moon in this present day mission, they use Apple AirPods to communicate with Houston, with Control.
Which you kind of like, for me,
some have two, some have one AirPod in.
That sent me into a weird spot. I was just in the room for this. I was kind of watching it with Amy because it is actually very entertaining.
It's so entertaining. And I'm wearing AirPods.
And it's lovingly made. That's the important thing. The difference is I feel like a lot of these garbage movies, you'll say, oh, yeah, it's stupid because they want to do something, stupid. But this kind of almost feels like an old 90s sci-fi TV show that somebody would have really been into. You know what I mean? Had they expanded upon it.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is there a plot?
Yeah, they crash.
I think that was it.
In present day, they have a moon mission going on in the Americans, and they crash into the moon instead of landing on it softly in the way they wanted to. And through happenstance, they discover the Russian dude who now has a daughter with him. And you're like, where the fuck did he? And then you realize she has a shark fin on her back, and you're like, oh God, he fucked a shark. And then
so he
you
fucked
realize
one of the sharks, and then they had a shark daughter.
She's one of the hybrids, but she turned out mostly human. And he saved her from death.
Is there like a whole family of sharks up there now?
There's a whole civilization. There's like this faction, that faction.
This happened over 40 years?
They wear sheriff's badges, the shark hybrids, and they're women.
And they have a complex society.
Oh, how feminist.
And they got sexy. They got they got titties.
Shark titties?
They got shark titties.
Shark titties.
Because they speak, English or Russian.
So how many shark astronauts launched in the first place?
Like 2 or 3.
And they built a whole society?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Hey, it can be done. That's why it's science fiction, but
it's heavy on the science. You're like, this is really a hard science fiction film for people that really love math.
At a certain point, you the Russian dude's like, I figured out a way. You don't even need like a helmet on the moon.
Oh, so it's the AirPods. That's their AirPods. And they just blow air in your ears.
Literally,
and you breathe that.
You just put the little plastic tubing in, and you're like, you're good to go. But you have to also wear the little like
you're in the hospital getting
oxygen, and you have to wear these old man molester glasses too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those
to protect your eyes.
They're Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses.
Then you also have to wear this chainmail hat, and you have to wear this billowy windbreaker material suit because that keeps your skin from exploding.
This was everything they found at the thrift store that day.
It could be. I love the creativity. It was actually like there was a lot of joy. I could tell.
So much joy.
So are we rooting for the sharks or not?
No.
They're complex.
They're bad.
They're complex.
But there is some complexity.
I mean, we invaded their land, so why they have the right to defend from it?
Well, it is the moon, Andy.
This is the moon. You don't get the moon. Nobody can own the fucking moon.
It's ours because we put the flag on it. It's ours.
No, we don't own it. If anything happens to the moon, we all die.
The flag is there. It's ours, Amy.
Nobody owns it.
You think you own whatever land you land on.
Anyway, God damn it, Andy. No, this is not the sharks. Now, yes, we made them. Well, the Russians.
And now we're invading their land.
They accidentally ended up on the moon.
Andy's trying to be on the right side of shark history.
God damn it.
Sorry, shark herstory.
What do you not understand? So nobody is supposed to be there.
So you're advocating genocide.
No, but we'll take you home. Then you can do shark shit.
But they are home.
You're going to extradite them.
They weren't all born there.
Just someone from Milwaukee.
I can't even entertain the idea that somebody can own the moon, Andy.
They don't own all of it.
Nobody can live there.
They just own the land that the portion that they're on.
Oh man!
If you believe hammerhead sharks own the moon,
And it was all kinds of different sharks.
I just like sharks. Okay.
It was like huge. So like you're just walking around, you're just a big muscly dude, but you happen to be a hammerhead shark on top.
Is there a tiger shark?
I'm sure. I don't remember.
If you look in the back, if had they
Oh, thank you, Kelly. I was waiting for somebody to say that.
You did it.
They would have made us had they been given money. I don't feel like this production team didn't strike me as the type who would have been like, they would just keep using resources and probably make a really amazing science fiction movie because of the imagination they have.
Well, they did the best. It's the vast majority of this movie was filmed against a green screen. I'd say 80% of it.
It looks like shit.
Yeah. And you could just tell they're trying so hard to approximate the way you'd walk on the moon.
You mean it wasn't filmed on the moon?
Yeah, and you can't tell me that this space shuttle is launching present day and then they're like, pushed the button that says artificial gravity. What? We don't have that.
But we don't have sharks on the moon either, to be fair.
True.
But an attitude like that, we'll never have them.
And so all of this takes place
I'm sorry.
on the far side of the moon, which I guess is... It's hard to see it because it's far.
They just listening to Pink Floyd all day long.
I've just been let down so many times before, Andy. I don't think we can do it. I don't think this is our year for making hybrid sharks to send to the moon.
Aww. But somebody came up with that title and then made a movie around this. And thank you is all I can say. I really had a great ass time. Listen, it is not something you're going to sit in a room by yourself. Sober as the day you were born.
Well, that's all you need to be entertained by a movie. That's a good compliment for a movie that you're entertained.
Yeah.
What more do you need?
Yeah.
I mean, substance is nice.
Well, it depends on where you are
you don't
in
need
your
it.
life for that day.
It's not necessary. It's like
you don't need it.
I didn't have
it's
to
not
marinate
like protein.
my chicken. I like it had a lot of personality.
Okay.
Green screen movies. What? Green screen movies are often you think very sterile. But it still has that grime of an independent.
This is still infected.
One of the actors was phoning this shit in so hard.
Are there any names in it like how Sci-Fi used to do? I put in has-beens on it.
No.
Guapo's doing the cutest thing ever.
Guapo's sitting up and putting his feet in the air because he wants me to.
While Amy is snuggling on Guapo there. Aw, he's a good boy.
All right, sorry. Okay, that's it. Shark Side of the Moon. I highly recommend it, but you need to understand what I'm recommending to you.
It reminded me of Babylon 5 sometimes.
It was almost as cheap. Not quite though.
Not quite as cheap as Babylon 5.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
All right. Next movie.
Here, do you want to? You're gonna set it up and then we spin the wheel, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing good today.
This movie's called The Last Matinee. It's on Shudder. In The Last Matinee, the audience attending the last showing of a horror film in a small downtown cinema are terrorized by a murderer who begins to pick them off one by one. The only person to notice that something strange is going on is the projectionist's daughter.
Sucks them off one by one.
Daughter. What is that, Andy?
I took a picture of Guapo and it recorded it. And
That's
it was
funny.
Oh.
It's like it was saying hamburger.
It was Amy's voice.
What did you say, Amy?
I don't know.
It sounded like hamburger.
The Last Matinee.
Sorry, I apologize.
This is an EVP is electronic voice phenomena. It's when you're in an empty room.
Guapo is so fucking cute, you guys. You listeners, you don't even know.
Amy, you can spin the wheel.
He's like a corgi mix. He's just got stubby little legs and he's built like a loaf of bread.
A loaf of bread?
A loaf of bread.
No? Didn't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Andy.
It's Andy.
Oh, these are coming left and right to me.
Woo.
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 All right. You guys ready?
Oh, you're a woo girl now.
Yeah, I'm a woo girl.
Ready at Cosmic?
Woo.
Yeah.
Let's get Cosmic, baby.
This little guy is 150 milligrams of specially enhanced dimethyltryptamine, DMT. Where'd you get it? Some friends in Colorado.
thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place.
Aren't you worried about the dangers of taking it?
If this little chemistry experiment goes sideways, I want you to finish my book and dedicate it to me.
He took a military-grade chemical that no one seems to have any documentation of. Then his friend is also missing.
I don't like this. It can see me.
The United States offers a sincere apology.
James, what happened to you?
I want to tell you why I love this movie.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Well, like I said, first time was a 6 because it had a couple of good jump scares in it, and I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I like to get my heart rate up because I don't get a lot of exercise. But so it's the second time through, the scares all still worked, felt scarier to me. And this time I really got the story where the first time through, I think I dropped a few elements that were kind of critical to understanding what was going on. But it's really great.
Banshee chapter.
Banshee chapter. This director, I'm trying to remember.
Blair Erickson?
Blair Erickson. Thank you, Andy.
I call her Blair Erickson.
I know they did like an experimental version of this on the Oculus Rift. And if anybody has seen that, I would love to know what that's like. But we watched it on streaming. So it's the story. It is From Beyond again.
Yeah.
And they've changed up the narrative structure, but all the characters are really there except for the cop.
Yeah.
She is basically Barbara Crampton's character, the female lead.
Mm-hmm.
The young guy is like kind of the Dr. Pretorius, really.
Is he Pretorius or is he Crawford?
It's hard to say for sure.
I think Pretorius is Ted Levine's character.
Yeah.
And the other guy
feel like
is
he reads
Jeffrey
as
Combs.
him?
Yeah.
See, because I see him.
No, you're wrong, and it's okay to say you are.
Wait, which one died in From Beyond in the Jeffrey Combs version?
They both
Dr.
died.
Pretorius died in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
He's the mad scientist
into
character.
Yeah. See, that's why I thought, to me, it read the other way. But it doesn't matter. They're both valid.
Yeah.
Whatever it reads to you, it reads to you. That's the beauty of the amalgamation that they've created is it doesn't read like a remake of From Beyond at all.
Well, it's not. That's the thing. It's not a direct.
Right.
Very, very much the way I saw Annihilation as sort of an adaptation of the color. We saw it as an adaptation of the Color Out of Space. I think this is sort of in that same vein as sort of a reordering of the elements of the story From Beyond. And they even reference the story in it
directly. Mm-hmm. And I saw a lot of similarities between the original From Beyond story and Annihilation too, and this movie. Like the moment when the arc that she follows is very similar to the same arc as Natalie Portman's character in Annihilation, including the disintegrated boyfriend at the end.
What?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you're right.
Yeah.
We should tell them to sue.
They should sue. H.P. Lovecraft is going to come back from the dead and sue everybody.
No, the Banshee. Never mind.
For his public domain stories.
Yeah.
We can do Disintegrated Boyfriend Month.
Yeah, we should. We've got 2 now.
Well, we've already done them.
Wouldn't it be shocking? There's probably a lot of them.
Somebody was somebody's boyfriend in Infinity Wars.
I love that you get. Oh my God, Millie.
What's her
How
problem?
rude.
She just wants attention.
Yeah, she wants attention.
I like this movie's. There's about how much found footage.
About 15 minutes.
Yeah, like there's
beginning.
some.
It's a device for her to
the whole
have motive.
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing what I like about it is that it feels a lot like a found footage movie
was
the whole
filmed like
time
one.
without being one.
Yeah.
Like the first it honestly took me a while to realize that they switched from found footage to actual movie.
There was a couple times where I was like, "Oh shit!"
Because just the filming style, it was just the camera moved a lot.
Yeah.
To wherever the characters are speaking.
It was exactly like it would have.
Yeah.
been.
Did you like that?
No,
You
because,
didn't like. See, I love that.
If anything, I wish they stuck with just the found footage angle.
Mm-hmm.
I think they made the movie too complicated for its own good.
You mean visually?
No, and story wise.
Yeah.
Was it? Did you not like that they reordered the structure of the story?
Yeah, it's because it made me feel dumb because it took me a while to realize, like, wait a minute, they're not doing the found footage angle anymore.
Yeah.
Because when they moved to movie, the acting felt more stilted and more dialogue-y. And I was like, this is just bad acting. But then I realized it turned to movie instead of found footage-y.
Gotcha.
Movie.
Movie. I will say, so like you loved it. I really liked it. I feel like this movie for me felt exactly like a pulp horror short story.
Yeah.
Including its flaws. Like I liked the pulpy flaws where this was almost like an action cosmic horror movie where you're always on the move. But then there in those flaws that I appreciate for the sense of just familiarity and what I like, it also, there's some like plot holes and some dialogue moments where you're left like, that's a little clunky.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, it's really my only real criticism in terms of technical stuff. I do really like it. I thought it was really spooky, a really good like a really nice take and a good way to get people who are like, I want to get into that kind of thing, but it seems like it's all like flowery language and all this stuff. And it's a good way to show people that there's more than just tentacles and Cthulhu to
Did you
Lovecraftian horror.
It was my computer.
Oh, we were looking at me and Andy looked at each other like, but
did you just take the EMT?
It made me think of the numbers stations. Like this is part of
I've heard about those. Yeah, those are real.
That was the best part. Those frequencies that they were picking up and just the EVP type things they were like hearing.
I love that.
Like those childlike voices just saying like this foreign language that doesn't even sound human. Those are the best parts. But I don't want to be like a smarty pants. But I figured out the twists where like they were saying they're giving the formula out.
Oh, the formula for the were you a chemist kid?
I took a semester of organic chemistry. I failed, but
I figured it was something. Some kind of formula. I didn't know what it was.
I didn't
because I wasn't paying that good of attention. I guess
I thought they were playing bingo in a retirement home.
I did make an 069 joke,
but I think it had some good elements I liked. Like that part.
It was flawed.
It had some good jump scares.
Yeah, a little repetitive on the jump scares.
And it's like this movie hates lighting.
Yeah, nobody's allowed to actually fully light a room.
It was hard for me to figure out what was actually going on at times.
Oh, I love the dark. And usually I'm not a fan of the super, super dark movies just for darkness sake, but like I feel like this director really knew their way around framing a shot in that 70s style where, there came a point in movies where they went to that A-B thing so that they could assemble a performance between two or more actors without one of them looking like they're not acting as well as the other person in the scene with them. So they do, okay, we're going to cut to the actor A, okay, in this case, Ted Levine or something. We'll cut to him. Great actor. He got everything in one take. The other actor, we had to assemble 5 or 6 different takes to get a performance that made sense even,
But see, I think that worked against it a little bit.
To put them into one frame?
Well, they did a lot of like long shots that weren't cutting. I thought that some of those scenes were a little messy and took away something because I think they were still trying to give you the found footage feel.
Yeah.
It not being.
It was just confusing at times.
It'll always expose the weaker actor in the scene. Like it's just
it just kind of puts a spotlight on that.
I didn't want to bring up like acting, but I feel like the lead actress was.
It wasn't great.
Good.
She was
sorry.
It was weird. Like she had an English accent, but I think she's Swedish or something.
I don't know, babe.
I don't know.
Regardless of where she's from, I think it was just very, very stilted acting. It wasn't like natural for a film that they filmed so naturally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it was very obvious she was acting. You know what I'm trying to say?
But like, did she stand out from the rest of the cast, or do you think that everybody was? Everybody doing the same style of acting?
No, there's not that many actors, honestly.
Right,
there's like maybe 4 people.
Yeah,
it's like
I guess
Ted Levine, like like he's Ted Levine. You can't really judge his performance because it's Ted Levine. He's going to be him all the time.
I mean, I think his performance was really intense and great. I know he's like supposed to be like Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson, yeah.
And that was another thing I had trouble with. Like it was so cartoony, his character.
Yeah.
Like the footage they showed of him, like just shooting in the air. And poisoning the
I love that shit.
Yeah.
See, I like broad characterizations like that. Sometimes I want to just be blatantly told what a character is.
In this case,
yeah.
Oh no, I was just going to agree with you, but keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just going to say that like the reveal later that he really had like some kind of amnesia or something from being a test subject, like. Makes him even more interesting because it's kind of like explaining why Hunter S. Thompson was the way he was because he was so fucking damaged already by volunteering for MK Ultra. Essentially, this version of Hunter S. Thompson. I mean, I just thought that was a really they accounted for a lot of things. You know that they reveal about that character in the first. When you first introduce him.
Well, like I'm not very familiar with Hunter S. Thompson. Like I know the character, but I don't know how over the top he was. But to me, that's Ted Levine's character was cartoony, and when you base it on, you have like footage of Bill Clinton apologizing for these things that.
Well, that was about Tuskegee.
I know, but when you have like grounded things paired with a super over the top character, it didn't jive.
I would say
I gotcha.
I feel like again, normally I agree with that, and I don't necessarily like I don't always like a big broad characterization.
Well, I never, Kelley.
Look at that big broad.
As a friend of yours, that is a big broad.
Yeah, big broad characters strokes. Anyway,
so offended.
What I mean is to say. In this, because it does feel so much like a short story, a pulp story, that you've got a limited amount of space to get across like what is a very big idea. Like the point of the story is like the mystery of ultimately of what's happening. And so for me, this was a case where I kept thinking actually like this is a dumb thing like that's being like just blatantly laid out for us, and you could already figure something. Like there was this moment where she realizes like that she saw the girl who supposedly was gone, and she's like, it was 8 minutes ago. And there's like we'd already figured that out because you could see the timestamp. But for me, it was like, yeah, I like that being reaffirmed because it helps me realize like this is like a pulpy, that's why I feel like I was cool with like the big performances because it is cartoony, but you will in stories get still things like that Bill Clinton thing just to help you suspend your disbelief at least a little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Guapo and Elsa came in here like they were in the middle of some sort of game.
What?
I don't know. They came sliding in here like
Game of Life,
like they were playing with each other. It was weird.
Guapo doesn't play
because Guapo doesn't play. That's why it was.
Guapo
weird.
Don't play that.
He hates people playing on his phone.
Yeah, he's like, stop playing.
He does not like people playing on the phone.
So the DMT-19, which is the stuff the drug that will
it's made from monkey cum,
turn your brain into a receiver to receive the messages from the place that the monsters came from in From Beyond too. Like in From Beyond, you got to see them. In this,
this is in a world where From Beyond is a short story that he's read too.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's saying this is like the resonator,
and they extract it from dead bodies' brains.
I thought that was another creepy element that they layered in.
I did too.
Yeah,
I like that.
I really like the video footage of the experiments.
Yeah,
and the scientists performing on them. It reminded me of House on Haunted Hill, the remake. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
only I think it looked better.
No, it looked better. But like that one jump scare where the guy's strapped to the chair, then he just gets pulled back.
Yeah.
I think the jump scares are really effective. I think that was probably one of the best parts of it.
The shadow, like the amount of contrast when they set those shots up, it looks like Sin City or something.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. And then those are naturally, it makes sense too that on those archival tapes like that they would look that bad, like contrast.
Oh, yeah.
But also it looks like art because the way he set up the frame, he's like, this is, black and white, like this is as stark as it's going to get. It's like film noir shit. I thought this thing was above and beyond your typical horror movie for me.
Also, I wish that the tapes didn't skip so much. I felt that was kind of a cheap, easy way to make it seem like creepier than it was.
I don't remember that. That didn't make an impression on me.
Yeah, well, when things would happen, it would throw the when the entities were kind of coming through, it would disrupt the transmission.
I guess it means like the show, like Kelly said, it's affecting.
So they're the orange barrels from Jaws, basically. Like all the horror movies have the thing.
The drug.
Go
ahead, Kelly. I'm so sorry.
You go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I was just going to say what I appreciate about this, and again, a way that both preserves sort of that cosmic horror. If you see it, it ruins it because you can't be. I like the idea that these entities that are from the greater outside are basically like. It's like demon possession. They're trying to get in and like live through for what purpose. We never really do find out. We don't get a lot of information at the end, but it seems to be, that they're coming through to try and be about in this plane and experience this plane through human hosts. But that keeps you from having to see too much. I mean, it does change people's, there's a nice makeup effect that's unsettling. It felt a lot like The Ring to me too.
Yeah,
just in terms of the
face.
Can I tell you something?
One like the journalist going to look at someone else's whom she knows, thing. But anyway, I like that you never really see anything too crazy, but it's still you get the idea.
You were talking at the beginning of this conversation about kind of who was an analog for who in the original story and everything. I saw Ted Levine's character very differently the second time. I saw him as the hero, really. And I thought I was terrified of him the first time I saw it because I felt like he was responsible for everything, But, on the second viewing, it was a lot more clear to me that he was a victim who was just, his brain was more or less destroyed by the government when he was a kid.
So was Callie the Pretorius, and he was the Crawford?
I think he was the Crawford, and the boyfriend that disappeared was more the Pretorius to me.
What about Callie, the girl that made the stuff?
Oh, Callie that made the stuff could be the stand-in. You could even split her between those characters. Like they don't have to be one for one, but like just their function in the story.
Well, I think even the boyfriend could also be the Barbara Crampton character because he was investigating the origins of the drug and the effects.
Well, yeah, all the any protagonist in a Cthulhu or a Lovecraft story is really an investigator. Almost they even call them that in the Chaosium games. Like they call your hero characters investigators.
You're an investigator
because it's the thing that you're drawn to do, but it's also the thing that spells your doom every time. And I think this movie nailed that. Ted Levine's character, if you watch it, I don't know how everybody interpreted it the first time they saw it, but if you watch it a second time and you realize that he's a victim of the worst kind of abuse.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he became this crazy writer and had all these intense emotions and weird behavior. And he revisits this place. He's really trying to help her out. You think he's a sleaze. You think he's going to try something, especially when when he lets her believe that he drugged her.
Right.
And he didn't.
Or did he?
No.
Or did he?
I don't think he did.
Well, they try to make it ambiguous at the end.
It makes it ambiguous at the end.
Yeah.
Well, how did they make that part ambiguous? Because she was
said,
hearing the signal?
No.
Well, because the only reason, and she starts seeing shit because the only evidence she has that he didn't is that she believes him. Mm-hmm. That's it.
He didn't have any reason to lie to her, though.
That was her only reason. I mean, can you throw that in court?
I mean, that's to court.
You can't. That's. That's just sort of.
My logic.
I think they deliberately made it ambiguous at the end.
I think. That maybe something was ramping up and she was starting to hear things, but I don't know that she was drugged. But she was in that environment where they were processing it, and making it. The idea of being drugged
means that you're now a permanent receiver, whether you like it or not.
Well, also there's this element
for the evil cosmic thing
that.
Who knows if it's evil?
And here's the thing.
I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
Well, but also because Ted Levine's character is this abused, manipulated character in terms of this, but he's also, they're using him to propagate and give out this stuff and create more receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So he is programmed to make receive.
We are programmed to receive.
So I agree that I think the end is ambiguous. I think you can take it your way, your faith-based way, Freddie. I think you could be faith-based or science-based here. And the faith-based way is to take it at face value. And you're right. He had no reason. Then I think the science-based way is say, well, the only thing she has to go on is his word.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which
so I think
he's not proven necessarily a trustworthy character. So that
unreliable.
You have reason to doubt his sincerity and everything he says.
So I think it's just
turn.
ambiguous.
Right.
I don't think, it's an either way answer.
But
I don't think you get any answer.
Yeah.
The reason I kind of read him with maybe like a kinder eye the second time through is also that moment, which this is a very Lovecraft. I think this movie nails that hopelessness and in the insanity aspect of it really well, where he's back in this place and he recognizes this chair. He's like, they restrained you to give you drugs. And she's like, how do you know that? And then, and
he never answers. Yeah.
And then it seems like it triggers him. And then he commits suicide and his last words, I'm sorry to her, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out. I can't take it. And I just remember that would be like, if you play Call of Cthulhu at all growing up, like that happened with a lot of characters. They blow their brains out as a way of moving to the next scene frequently.
Yeah.
And that just really worked. I love it that they made this larger than life character that had such a small death instead of giving him a long drawn out dramatic thing, which would have been the instinct when you get somebody like Ted Levine, you hire an actor like him, you want to be like, oh, there's a death scene. Well, what do we do now? Do we just keep it as abrupt as it is to serve the hopeless feeling of the movie? Or do we give him like this monologue or
get him to tuck his dick?
Get him to tuck his dick, but they did exactly what they should have done, which is it made it shocking and abrupt.
Wasn't there a little nod? A little line read?
Oh, he said she's wearing him or he's wearing her or whatever.
There was a wearing skin joke somewhere in the movie. Do you remember?
Well, that's where they were
a few times. That's what she says. They said they want to wear us.
They want to wear us. Yeah. Which we had a discussion. We thought Amy and I were like, is that maybe a deliberate thing because it's a Buffalo Bill in the skin dress?
Yeah.
Like, is it a callback to that?
Come on. It's got to be, right? Andy?
I don't know.
Just agree with me.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
He's like, sure, whatever it takes.
I just thought the movie it just got a little clunky at the end.
And also got repetitive for me.
It got a little repetitive with the jump scares like in the second half. I'm like, all right, guys, same thing over and over again. I'm just looking for another thing in the background. Okay. But I mean, there isn't that. I had a great time.
Yeah. And then I like too, again, there's all these little clues. You can't say for sure, but so it's like, were those beings that were now trapped in those dead bodies, had they been down there that whole time? Because she says, they wanted us to come here. And like in a moment of like Claire, as the thing is getting into her brain and she realizes and it's like, oh, were they called there thinking they were going to destroy, but only to open the place up and let those beings out?
Yeah.
Into that was kind of a thing I was putting together, but you don't know.
The one in the tank.
Yeah.
That was a good shit. That reveal of the face in the pipe.
Oh yeah.
That was, to me, that was just an image that is theirs. You know what I mean?
It was good. Yeah.
I didn't think about another movie when I saw it.
I have just had two instances where I was like, oh, I should mention this one scene. No, that was in Shark Side of the Moon. What about with all the shark babies in the room? No, wait.
That's
Shark Side of the Moon.
Oh, shark babies.
You've been shark-septed. Now it's all you.
I'm definitely going to watch it now if they're shark babies.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
I mean, if that's enough for you. Anyway, back to Banshee chapter.
Yeah.
The boyfriend got disintegrated. That's fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't really her boyfriend. Remember? They were like
finds
friends.
His clothes.
Did she love him?
I don't know what that big reveal, like when they showed all the footage of them being all lovey-dovey, like it just seemed tacked on to me.
Well, it's because they wanted to make sure that you associated the clothing on the ground with the guy because you hadn't seen him since the beginning of the movie. It's just a storytelling trick.
It's just
too much.
Like I said, it was just They try to throw in too much.
Too much tuna?
Too much.
Yeah. See, that played
Too
for
much
me.
tuna,
It
guys.
kind of made me feel. It gave me kind of a sad vibe, and I was like, it made the her character a little more human
potential.
to me. You know, but because that kid was charming from the go. Like when you first meet him in the beginning,
He gave me Shkreli.
Ooh, Martin
He
Shkreli?
gave me Shkreli vibes. Whatever that guy's name is, Martin.
Well, I get the face. You know.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't punchable.
No, he wasn't quite.
Just
but you
physically.
I got John Mayer.
Yeah. Just not great things to think of, but that guy can't help how he looks. But that's just what I was thinking.
That's hilarious. Now he's just a flat set of clothes.
Flat.
Yeah.
Bag of wet clothes.
Bag of wet clothes.
She got a nice shape. What?
So I was trying to grab this, and you all just stopped. I meant talk.
Oh, you meant talk.
I ran out of things to say.
Yeah,
Yes, we're done.
You just
Okay.
happened to time it exactly, like when we were all completely out of words.
I was trying to get my list of Beelzebubs.
Oh, you set them aside for me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and thanks to Joe, who he picked the movie.
Yeah.
Thanks again for picking
good
the
choice.
Joe Bear.
Enjoyed the shit out of it. One of the better Lovecraft adaptations, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
So at the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs, patreon.com/NOTLP, and you can see how your money makes us happy. Alise.
I'll see you in just a second. I love you.
Who's got the key to the G's?
Lynn Walsh.
Hi, Lynn.
And Lynn down under.
Alyssa.
Alyssa made me a Vegemite sandwich.
Branan and Emily. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water, a glass of sip.
I had to have a glass of sip.
I had to sip a glass
Chunder.
of water.
Chunder. I needed to have a sip from my chunder.
Oh, Fozzie's episode of The Feminine Critique is out. We're talking about Bad Man. So,
Oh, yeah, I'm going to listen to that tomorrow. Excited.
Jeffel.
Oh, man, he kept trying to get us to watch that movie with him. I'm sorry, Fozzie.
We watched it.
No, us.
Yeah.
We didn't.
He's like, oh, that sucks. Freddie and Amy were terrible. Let me see if I can get Kelley and Alise to watch it with
you're
me.
okay.
Well,
You're
it's
okay.
probably because we didn't watch it.
Right.
And then,
We were second tier.
Have you seen it before?
No.
It's an excellent movie.
I've heard.
Dustin.
What's up, buddy?
Iona
What's
Goodwin.
Oh, I know,
Yeah,
great
you
one.
do.
Dr. Brian.
Hey, Doc. What's up, Doc?
Bill, a.k.a. Jerk Bitch Boat. We did not win. The hippo's name, the baby hippo, is named Fritz.
Fritz.
Well, there you go.
Which is very cute.
That is cute. Where is this baby hippo again? What zoo?
The Cincinnati Zoo.
Our zoo?
Cute
Oh,
enough.
that's right. It's our zoo. Here in town.
Excuse me.
You call
Goodness gracious.
You call yourself a Cincinnati.
Freddie Morris. It's been like the headline every day. What are the hippo is pooping. The hippo is walking.
You sure the Cincinnati Zoo is not in Northern Kentucky, though?
Bill Farner.
Bill, New York. Blake in Texas, right?
I don't know.
I think it's in Texas.
Mark Watts.
Mark is also in Texas. I try to remember states.
Blayne Yogurt.
Blayne is
He's in Texas.
He's in Texas too. Am I having a stroke?
Got a little Texas pad right there.
Jordache
Everybody's in
Jeans.
Texas.
We got to move Ernest up.
Hey. Jordache is in. Oh shit! I know this.
You can do it, baby.
I can't remember.
Oh, hey there, Dean.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
Wisconsin. No.
Oh, well, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
But
That's right.
I guess I could accept that answer as they probably have that accent too. Paul,
I give you all Indiana.
Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora.
Indiana.
Now
Hey,
their
guys.
stalkers can find them.
Indiana.
Ernie,
is in Texas.
Dave Siebert.
Dave is in town where the zoo is.
Michael Burns. Let's see if you remember.
Michael Burns is in Buffalo,
New
York State.
And Monica.
The Ohio State University. Monica is also in Texas, right?
No.
She is in.
PNW, but
She's in West Dakota.
Yep.
Washington State.
Washington State.
Is Paris a state?
Yep.
Yep. A
Thank you
state of mind.
so much for listening. We love you.
Thank y'all.
So much. Bye.
Have a good cosmic day.